Hey everyone, Kevin Ross here, and I just wanted to let you know that I think you're worth it. I definitely think you're worth it. The thing is, do you think you're worth it? Well, what I want to talk about today is an article in Entrepreneur Magazine, the leadership issue. And this is something that really caught my eye. I spend a lot of time working with entrepreneurs out there, consultants, whether you're experienced or you're just starting out. This area is always an issue, or oftentimes an issue for people. And it comes down to valuing your services in the sense of how you set up your fee structure. And are you really charging enough? Because You're Worth It is the title of the article. And it starts off talking about this consultant who is doing a proposal for a client. The fee structure is laid out in the proposal and in the contract. However, a colleague oversees this, sees that fee structure, and approaches him and asks him, well, don't you know that you're grossly undervaluing your services here with that fee? And then, of course, the gentleman reluctantly agrees, raises his fee, and then, of course, I think is a nervous mess and sends that off to his client. Well, lo and behold, the client sends the contract back signed with a deposit, ready to do business. Here's the thing, the client found value in this gentleman's services. However, as a consultant, he didn't see his own value, what he could bring to the table. Here's the thing, when you're first starting out, and really ongoing, but what I tell people is that you need to really evaluate your skill set. You need to evaluate, okay, what do I bring to the table? What's my expertise? What knowledge do I have? What experience do I have? What am I bringing to the table? There's a problem. I have the solution. And how good am I at helping resolve that? So you're a new business, a new consultant. Part of it is that you're going to have to ask other entrepreneurs out there what they are charging for their services. And some entrepreneurs are willing to share that. Others might not be. But you really got to go out there and ask questions. You got to sometimes do a market analysis. You have to look and see what the market is dictating for that type of service and for your skill set. And sometimes that's difficult to find based on the services that you're providing, especially with the nurses that I provide coaching services for. But together we work on that market analysis. However, this is the second thing that you really need to focus on. You're already in business year two, year one, year two, year three. Every year, reevaluate your fees. Always reevaluate your fees. We all know about inflation, and it occurs obviously in our businesses. Can we absorb those fees that are being raised each and every year, or do we have to offset them by raising our fees? Also, think about this. You've got another year of experience under your belt. So obviously, you're going to be even more worth it because you're better at your job, right? Also, you might run into a roadblock where you're finding that your clientele there might not be any buy-in for that product or service. So reevaluate your target audience, your demographic. Has that changed? Because that can always change. And as an entrepreneur, you need to evolve with that. So sort of off of that second piece, when you're reevaluating your fee structure, don't worry so much about that market analysis, but get back to your customers. So you're already providing services and you have a customer base. Ask them. Do they find value in the services? Do they feel that your fees are fair and equitable? That's your barometer right there. So focus in on your current customer as to whether they feel comfortable about you raising your fees and if they find value in that. The third piece is never, ever, ever set your fees so low that you're not going to be able to do anything else. And what I mean by that is that your client might find that this is a great deal for them. You're cheap and they're not having to pay out a ton of money, but here's the problem. It's not going to be sustainable for you because you're not going to be able to add any extras. You're not going to be able to add any bells and whistles and really go above and beyond. So if your focus is really on customer service, that is actually going to be greatly hampered by the fact that your fees aren't enough and you really can't provide those services. I mean, aim high. Look at those fees and then aim higher than that. and offer that to your customer. See what they say, because here's the thing. When they agree to those fees, then here's what you do. You got to lay it on thick. You've got to over deliver. You've got to answer those phone calls. You've got to be responsive and get back to them ASAP. You have got to be responsive with those emails, or those responses of texts or the dialogue. If they want to meet you in person, you make time for that. I mean, you really clear your schedule if you can and make time for them. Lay the customer service on thick, but you can, because your fees are higher. Not too high. They're actually set at what they should be, but focus in on maybe a higher fee structure, working with fewer clients, and then being able to provide them across the board, that smaller group of clients, the type of customer service that they deserve. So really, those are just a few things that you need to really focus in on and come to terms with. And all I have to say, like I did in the beginning of the video, is that you are worth it. So just understand that you're worth it, and your client knows you're worth it. So just execute on that.